News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Meth and children combine to make a dangerous situation. Good morning, this is John King filling in for Peter Christian, who's taken the day off today. Your newscast this morning brought to you by Dig It Excavation, bringing 30 years of excellence to every job for all of your excavation needs. Give them a call at 214-4292. Missoula police were called to help a deputy U.S. Marshal arrest 32-year-old Casey Henry on Wednesday afternoon. But when they arrived at the location on Cooper Street in Missoula, they ended up making more arrests for various drug-related crimes.
Hi, Peter. How's it
Further
going?
investigation
It's chilly.
revealed
It is. It's very cold.
there
We
appeared to be
actually
drug
reached
activity
minus
going on in the
19
house.
degrees not too
And
long
subsequent
ago.
to
We're
that,
currently
whether
sitting at
people were
minus
arrested
17
in the
here at the
investigation.
airport.
One, a 63-year-old
Our record
female
for the
identified
date
as
is minus
Series Henry
21. That was
Patzer,
set in
and a 47-year-old man
1979, so we're pretty close to that.
But I understand.
The voice you just heard was
that,
Missoula Police Public Information
it's
Officer
kinda
Travis
like,
Welsh, who went on to tell me
like
that
Tampa,
two
Florida,
young children were
compared to some
found
other
in the
parts of the
home.
state. Is
That
that
led
correct?
to extra charges for both Zach and Henry Patzer.
They were charged with criminal child endangerment and accountability for criminal child endangerment, along with related drug charges. There were two small children in the house, ages 6 and older. There was
how are we doing
evidence
as far as
found
wind chill
that
goes?
led the officers to believe that the environment was not safe for the children.
All three individuals are now in custody at the Missoula County Jail. Welsh says the drugs found in this case appear to be methamphetamine.
That's a good question.
The name is very
We do
familiar.
have some
Rich
warmer
Marcelli,
temperatures in
the retired
forecast,
captain
but
of
we also
detectives
have
for the
some
Missoula
snow,
County
and
Sheriff's
with that,
Office,
we could
has
actually
returned to
have
duty
even some,
and is now the newly
maybe
appointed
3
Undersheriff
of
to
maybe
replace
even
now
freezing
retired
rain
Jason
if it
Johnson.
gets warm
Marcelli
enough in
describes his
the
duties.
upper
For the most
atmosphere,
part,
but
it's to
beginning
facilitate
Saturday
the
night
department
into
in the
Sunday, we do
absence
have another
of the
system
sheriff,
coming
TJ
in, and
McDermott,
temperatures are
to
going to warm into the
oversee the
teens
downtown
on Saturday and
operation
into the 20s
at the
on
sheriff's
Sunday.
department,
So
as well as
we'll see what we
the
end up
jail,
doing here in the
and just
valley,
be
but
apprised of
it'll
the
be
daily functions of the
interesting.
All right,
department.
well, Stephanie,
pretty
throw
much
another log on
overall.
the Weather Bureau
Marcelli
fire,
said
okay?
he has stayed in close
Okay,
contact
thank
with
you
Sheriff
very much.
McDermott during
Thanks,
his
Stephanie.
retirement.
Take care.
And coming back to
Take
the
care.
department
Bye-bye.
as
All right, that's
Undersheriff
Stephanie
seemed like
Henry
the right
from
opportunity
the
to
National
share his
Weather
experience and
Service.
knowledge
Wow,
with a new
16,
generation of
actually
deputies.
17 below
Marcelli
Missoula
poked some
right
lighthearted fun at himself as
Authorities
he
are
walked among
investigating the
deputies a
recent deaths of a
generation
man and woman
younger
on the
than he
Blackfeet
is.
Reservation.
You feel like
The
kind
Great
of an
Falls
old
Tribune
dinosaur at
reports
some point,
Blackfeet
looking
law
around his
enforcement
life.
services said the
Two
woman
young
had been
faces, and it
assaulted
looks like,
Sunday night.
you know,
Officers arrived to
some
find her
regard,
dead. She'd not yet been
recent high school
identified. Her cause
graduating
of death has
class,
not
and
yet
so,
been released. The body of Matthew
anyway,
Grant, who had been
they're
missing since
hard-working
mid-December,
group.
was found Saturday
He was nominated
in
and
Alleyway.
selected to attend the
Blackfeet law
National
enforcement
FBI
agency
Academy,
said
which
his
he
body was
completed
sent to
back in
Billings for an
2008.
autopsy.
In
The
2011,
FBI
at a
County
ceremony in
Sheriff's
Washington,
Office are
D.C.,
assisting in
Marcelli
that
was honored
investigation.
by former President
28-year-old
Obama
shepherd
as one of
man
the nation's top cops.
Is
A
charged with
legislative
stabbing
panel
a
is
woman and
recommending a
hitting her with
$23
vehicle
million
over the weekend,
cut
but
in
authorities
Montana's
say he
higher
likely
education
faces
budget over the
additional
next 2
charges
years.
now that the
You might want to
woman
listen
has
up,
died.
University of Montana
Jay
students.
Witkowski
Thursday's
was
vote by the Joint
yesterday with assault
Subcommittee
with
on
a weapon,
Education is
aggravated
the
assault,
first
and
step in
criminal
finalizing
endangerment.
the Office of
He
the
did not
Commissioner
enter
of Higher
a bail
Education's
set at $500,000.
2018-19 budget.
Those charges
The
were
House
filed
Appropriations
before
Committee will
31-year-old
incorporate the
Evelyn
work of
Garcia
various
of Glasgow
subcommittees
died
into a
Tuesday
draft of the
afternoon.
overall budget bill. Osh County
Sheriff
Commissioner
Vernon
Tyler
Berkeley
Trevor
said
says
Garcia
that
was found
if the cuts
Saturday
stand,
night
it could mean a
badly injured on the highway
20%
east of
tuition
Glasgow.
hike to
Several
make up the
agencies are
difference.
investigating
The
the events
independent
that led
record
to
reports
Garcia's
that
fatal
that would
injuries.
cost
County
in-state
Attorney
college
Dylan
students
Jensen
about
said the charges
$1,000
against
extra per
Witkowski
year.
may be amended.
The Republican-led legislature is trying to
Partly
fix
the
a
rates
budget
most
shortfall by
Montanans
cutting
are
spending
paying for
across state
electricity and
government.
gas are going
Democratic
up this
Governor
month
Steve
as
Bullock has
temperatures
proposed
are
more
going
modest
down.
cuts, combined
Rate
with
hikes are
tax
due to
increases
increasing
and
property
one-time
taxes on
fund
utilities
transfers.
passed on to customers.
The Montana Public Service Commission is accusing Northwestern Energy of misleading the public about rate increases that have driven energy bills higher so far this year. Public Service Commissioner Travis Kavula pointed to a claim made in a recent press release by Northwestern Energy. I'm going to quote that claim here, that rates are, quote, thoroughly reviewed and approved by the Montana Public Service Commission with involvement from independent third parties. Quote, Kavula responds.
That usually is true, but in this case, consumers were complaining, it seemed to me, about rate increases that directly resulted from this past January 1st tax tracking increase, and it is simply not true that the PSC approved those. Those rates went into effect without PSC approval.
Under Montana law, rate tracking pricing increases are allowed without prior approval by the PSC, and Kavoulas says Northwestern Energy has been working hard this legislative session to keep the law the way it is.
You've effectively got Northwestern telling consumers in a news release that the PSC approves this rate, even while going on a really vigorous lobbying campaign insisting that legislators defeat a bill that would give the PSC powers to do just that, approve or disapprove rates when it comes to this type of stuff.
The PSC is urging the legislature to pass House Bill 189, arguing that the legislature has a duty to Montana consumers to ensure that a monopoly does not have the ability to raise rates without oversight. Yesterday, the University of Montana Presidential Search Committee met for the first time. The committee has been tasked with picking a replacement for former President Roy Sangstrom, who was asked to step down suddenly in December. UM Communications Director Paula Short describes the makeup of the search team.
There are 21 members on it. Representation includes representatives from Montana University System Leadership. There are 2 regions.
Witter said, according to Montana Code Annotated, a permit is not needed for a simple protest.
The governor's office, the administration wanted to have a march staff and a variety of folks from across the campus.
The search is, in fact, a nationwide search, and outside help has been called in as well.
We did hire the national search firm AGV Search. They are also available on the campus to just talk a little bit broadly about the process that they're going to be going through, the timeline, and sort of how things are going to move from here. So this is really, I think, the first opportunity for all of the search committee members to get together and really to receive their charge, which is to conduct a search for the next president.
All right, that search is going to continue. They hope to have someone by July, but that might be optimistic.